I'm Mateo Alvarez. I'm a young Hispanic American.
What year are you?
I'm a freshman at San Diego State.
All right. So, what is oppression to you?
Um, I'm not sure of the quite definition, but it's the action of suppressing one for how they act and how their natural self acts and their expressions in everyday life. It's just being suppressed by not a higher power, but someone that feels like they're higher than them.
Do you feel like different races could be oppressed more than others?
Most definitely. Right now, you can see it a lot, but hopefully it fixes up one day.
So, how would you define racism?
Racism to me is when one race just puts down another race, and color shouldn't be an issue, but some people still see that way. We're a new generation, we're a new era. We shouldn't be thinking that way. Everyone should be judging people based on what their ideas are, not because of what their color of their skin is.
What about sexism? How do you feel about sexism? You feel like that's a problem nowadays?
Sexism is a problem right now, but I feel like in the United States, at least, we're taking a lot of steps forward to make race, not race, but the two sexes, or as many sexes as you believe there are, to be equal, and everyone has equal opportunities. It's expanding more and more every day.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Do you think black people can be racist? And do you think women can be sexist?
Yes. And you gotta look at this from. I feel like you gotta look at this from a standpoint of you're looking at a black comedian like maybe Kevin Hart or Chris Rock, something like that. They can slip. I'm Mexican. I'm Hispanic. I hear it all. They slip the little jokes here and there, and it's not like they mean to be racist in general, but like by definition, it is racist. But them jabbing, making jokes. It's always good when two groups can take the jokes, but if some don't like the jokes, then it can really fall off and make the subject really really awkward to be around.
Do you think that certain races get away with more than other races?
Um, Most definitely, but I feel like there's a lot of spotlight being shown in the world today. And then back to the question about women being sexist, it could be like if there's a group of all women and they see a man, they could just shut down the ideas based off him being a man or them thinking he's not on our level. It's not as much as I feel like women get towards them, but it's definitely possible. Yeah, everyone could be on the other side. It's just on a smaller scale.
What do you think about like this scenario? Like, you know how if a guy like slaps a woman's ass, it's a huge deal, but if a girl slaps a guy's ass, no one cares, right? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like do you feel like that's equal?
No, but I feel like if a guy slapping a random girl's ass, that wouldn't be weird. If a random girl went up to either you or me, it'd be weird if they slapped our butt. But if it's a friend or a significant other, I can see like why. But there should be a bigger spotlight on both sides being accused.
How would you say that? How would you say that? Like, what is internalized racism?
Internalized racism. I think the biggest thing I can think of right now is like Nazi Germany, where it wasn't really towards the race, but it was more towards the Jewish religion, and like it was propaganda. It was everyone was like, the Jewish people are the reason we lost the First World War. We should put the blame on them, this and that, and it made everyone around them feel like as if like, oh, these are the bad people, and it leads to bigger. It leads to bigger issues. We saw in the World War. It led to the Holocaust, which is sad. But we can even see it. You can say that today in the U.S. there's internalized racism towards whites being stronger, like they're trying to shut down other races. It's not as strong as Nazi Germany, but you can see the similarities in the propaganda, I guess I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
that reflect that.
You think it can be passed down through family and like nurture?
I definitely think it can be passed down by family. Um, I mean, any type of racism can be passed down. I feel as if you're brought up in a place where it's like we just like your parents say your parents are racist and they don't like this type of race or this type of person, and then you hear them, you listen to what they do. You get like not represented by your parents, but your parents help you mold who you are until you become yourself, and like you see a lot of similarities. So like me personally, being Hispanic, I know a lot of Central Americans don't like being called Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mexican, and they take that, and then it leads to beef between the two groups. But hopefully, like more people realize like, oh, these Central Americans aren't Mexican. They're actually Honduran. Or,
it's kind of like a generalization there.
It's you're a representation of your community who you hang out with.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a big factor.
How do we? Well, this kind of goes off of like how we become racist. Is like how would you say upbringing mostly, or what? Maybe like a past experience.
I definitely say upbringing. I say a past experience could affect it. It could affect why the person hates this race. Maybe it's a job that they're taking it from when they say they speak down on that race just for that reason. But I feel like racism it can be stopped, and it's a choice that the person doing these actions, saying these words, it's their own choice, and it can be stopped. They don't have to say it. They can say this person, I don't like how he's acting, or they can't just assume because of their race, oh, he's this type of person, he's lazy, they don't do this, they don't do that. Because everyone has, I wouldn't say equal opportunity, but everyone has the opportunity to be their own person and not fall into that category that people assume.
Yeah, I get that. What do you think we can do to stop or fix racism? Me personally, I don't think it's even possible to stop racism fully, but I feel like there's definitely ways we can push forwards to
it's definitely a struggle right now, because you can't single-handedly tell everyone to stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely there's progress, there's steps we have to take, but there's still going to be the little piece in the pot that still thinks, they think in that sense that they can be racist, they can slip it under their mouth. People you probably don't even know they can be saying racist remarks. But I think the best thing we can do is take the right steps. We're seeing it today now more and more.
Yeah.
We're seeing the right steps in that direction. Slowly end racism, or at least quiet it down, so it's put away, and we start to shun. Like, because some communities don't even shun it; they embrace it. It's sad, but hopefully one day, as Earth all together, we can lower the circumstances and hopefully just get rid of it altogether. We're all Earthlings. We're all here together. We're all trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, why are we here? Not to be racist. We're here to, live, love, experience. You don't want to be putting other people down for what reason.
Yeah. Do you think the Black Lives? This is the last question. Do you think the Black Lives Matter movement is helping or hurting? What would you say?
I think it's helping. However, it can be adjusted. Because as a Hispanic, it's like, I don't want to put it in that category, but like, oh, we matter too. People say that. It's like Black lives do matter, Hispanic lives matter, Asian, American, Russian, wherever you're from, like wherever you're from, whatever race you are. I said some countries, but whatever race you are, it really matters. Everyone matters in their own sense. The Black Lives Matter movement definitely started it, though. It definitely started. It put more recognition. I'm a big Kaepernick guy. I was there for his last game, and I'll never forget putting on his jersey in LA Rams Stadium, and I was getting booed. Yeah. And the Rams aren't even the Rams. They're lottery pick Rams. They're trash, and I was getting booed, and we won the game. Yeah. And it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's putting more spotlight, and especially.
All right. Do you know what oppression is?
Yes, I think oppression is cruel or unjust punishment or control over anyone.
Do you think there's oppression in the United States?
Yes, I think there is oppression in the United States because police have more control over people and they have unjust powers over them.
Do you think they oppress minorities more than they do the majority?
Yes, I think they do.
All right. Thank you. As someone who has immigrated into the United States legally, how do you feel about those who have came here illegally?
Coming to the United States, it's a very difficult thing to do. It's not like cheap, and it's a lot more work than people think it takes. Coming illegally, like those who come illegally, like I understand where they're coming from. It's not. It's like to escape like a corrupt life or an unjust life to live a better life. But like there's laws, and like, I think we should follow the rules. I don't understand why some people should take shortcuts while others can't. So I don't think coming illegally is correct.
Alright, it's a good response. Alright, Juan. As part of the Hispanic community, do you at all feel discriminated against or treated poorly here at SDSU?
I'd have to answer no. I came here when I was really young, so I'd say I grew up here all my whole life, and now living in San Diego, there's a large Hispanic and Latino community. I feel like I'm part of a bigger community because of where I came from.